Keep failing. Frick, keep failing. I love that. I think we should emphasize that more. When's the last time you failed at something? Oh, the lessons that come from failure. Oh man, I don't know why, but I felt like the mic was calling me today. I just feel like sometimes a girl needs to pause and reflect at her whoopsies, her journey, her present, and where she wants to get to. Now, me being me, I am a physically motivated, business motivated, and family orientated person. I don't know why some people are given more, I guess, fuel in the tank and interest in pursuing outrageous endeavors in life than others. I don't know why I crave that beam of sweat down the forehead. I don't know why I crave that tension. But I know, based on my experience and my interest in the past several years, that that is within me. And the more I fight it, the more trouble I find myself in, probably more in the mental side of things. So I decide to lean into it. And obviously, friction will be created and question marks will be brought up. And I will wonder why I've chosen to sign up for the numerous things that I've chosen to sign up for. But in saying that, I would rather live a life that exhausts me by the end of the day and rips me out of bed at the crack ass of dawn than finding myself gazing at my watch, wondering what I should do with my extra time or free time, because that is such a lie. Time is the most expensive and valuable thing we have. I would rather sign up for things that make me want to shit my pants than always cowered out at the thought of pursuing something that remotely even kind of scares me. I would rather throw myself into the deep end and scrape by, if you will, and white knuckle and grind my way through, because I know at the other end of it, the lessons and the experience that I will have gained is bar none the best thing in life. And you do not get to experience that unless you take those risks, unless you sign up for those events, unless you put yourself in the spaces and places full of people that make you feel dumb, full of people that make you feel like you can do more, think more. And this isn't me saying, hey, listener, you should try and burn yourself out. Because I think that life is this balancing act regardless. And I think burnout is a term that we've coined, but that's just simply a part of living. It's a part of the human experience. There's seasons in our life where we take on too much, but there'll be seasons in our life where we crave that next adventure, that next challenge. So I guess probably the mic was calling me today because at a young age, I pursued entrepreneurial endeavors. I was hungry to place at every single competition I signed up for. I also had a family that was naturally motivating. I can't sit here and lie and say that I had this horrible childhood and now this is the reason why I am the way I am. I think based on the fact that I have been given a leg up in life, I want to make sure that there isn't an ounce of me that holds back, because there are several people out there that weren't given that leg that I was given, that wasn't born in a healthy, happy, safe environment, that wasn't given that time that you have, that I have, to come up with these new adventures, to plot the next challenge. That is not the reality for the majority of the world. So I say this because if you are listening and you have a leg up in life, financially, environmentally, health wise, the people you surround yourself with, the family, the friends, then don't waste it, because there's people out there that would give anything to be in your position. And then I think the second half of the reason why I wanted to come on here is because I constantly find myself coming up with new ways of growing on a personal level, but also more specifically right now on a business level. And I think there's this art of setting lofty, big goals, but making sure that you set the appropriate strategy and plan, breaking it into bite-sized daily pieces so you can actually get to those goals that you set out for. And so I set these goals that make me nervous. I get hard on myself. And I experience these ebbs and flows in motivation. But I also think that it's important that for you to realize that you're capable of achieving those goals that you think currently are too lofty or too extreme, that you look back on the days where you set the goals that you've achieved and thought the same thing. I remember when I was filling out the application and writing the script for my self-tape for any of my TV, film, or professional dance roles, I thought there's absolutely no way. But why the heck not put myself out there? In fact, putting myself out there is the work and is the 98% of our lives. So putting myself out there and making the plan and, filming the self-tapes and going to the auditions and all of that stuff is the 98% of life. And those are the lessons to be learned so that you can grow. But I also remember those bookings that I had on the back end of those goals that I thought were too extreme, right? So what I'm saying is, as I continue to go about my natural ways of setting these lofty goals with strategic plans broken into bite-sized pieces, I actually think about it, kind of chuckle and say, there's no way, Briggs, this one isn't achievable. But then instantly when that thought comes into my head, I go, but didn't you think that 5 years ago when you set yourself up to achieve the goal that you just got last week? And it's a lesson to be learned. You only learn it by doing it. You can't learn it by somebody telling you about their experience. So if you are listening and you're a wondrous, adventure-seeking, goal-setting person like myself, or you know somebody that is, use it as a reminder that there was once a time in your life where you wished, dreamed, hoped, and set up a goal to achieve something that you did achieve, whether it be your degree, whether it be the move, whether it be raising a family. I know I digressed a little bit on this recording, but I did think that as I was setting my goals this morning, on a professional level that it was important that I came on and really showed the truth of the matter, the raw, authentic path that I am on, which is there's days that I think, what the heck? What have I done? I'm in too deep. But the way that I can see through it is when I remember the times that I also thought this one's not possible. And now I can say wholeheartedly that it is possible. I just had to put the time and effort and strategy into making it possible. So, with that, I just got off of a very exciting call meeting with a convention that I, again, only dreamed of working with, of presenting at. And it's still very much seed, early stages of the collaboration, of the potential partnership. But I'm sitting there on the call and they're asking me these questions that I had time to respond to or the ability to sit down and think about and then answer, would have absolutely aced the questions. But there was definitely pockets of my answers that I felt weren't the 110% that I wish I could have given. I still struggle with imposter syndrome. I still struggle with thinking, is this position something that I truly deserve to be in? Is this a subject matter that I truly feel like I am an expert in and no one else other than myself should be speaking about it right now? I still struggle with that. But I think that if I were to let those feelings overpower me, I would never set foot on stage. I would never accept those Zoom meetings. I would never put myself out there. And then if I never did that, then the world wouldn't be able to progress. And I don't mean to give myself that, I guess, that title of transformational worldly abilities. But if everyone chose that they don't deserve to be in the room, where would our world be? If everyone thought I am not the expert to be talking about that, then we would have no experts. And I think that there's also an important note to make, which is you don't have to feel so alone in your tasks. So in my specific case, I'm sitting there on the call, and the second that I started to feel that, where it was like, I am not the sole person that should be speaking on this topic. In fact, I don't know if this opportunity is something that I should pursue. I instantly thought, well, hang on. Think about all of your partnerships, all people that you lean on a daily basis to help you manipulate, to formulate research. And that is what I chose to present. Was perhaps I am not a massive, 50 plus years of experience behind my belt figure that can present on this huge stage on this topic. But here is the network that I'm a part of that I can present on and pull from. And so I am going to isolate my experience and tell you the authentic research and experience that I have. But within that, I'm also going to confidently share with you the experts and knowledge that my peers and the people I surround myself with have shared with me and are doing. And so then at the end of it, my presentation becomes one snippet of my personal knowledge and experience and expertise in that field. But I'm not going to go above and beyond and pretend like I know everything. And so then it becomes this, instead of single wave moving forward, it's this ocean moving forward, this research back expertise that now I feel confident going on stage and presenting on. I sat in a Zoom call this morning thinking, man, do I have the audacity truly to step on the stage and present on a topic that is so wide and vast? And I am only one fish in this sea of people, of fish that has so much to give and to share with the world. But I think I was able to isolate the value in my personal experience, in my specific topic of expertise. And then within that, actually complement it by pulling expert knowledge from other people, other fish in the sea that again will complement the work that I'm doing. And the more that we know, the more that we group together and share our resources and tools, the more of a ripple effect we'll have, if we want to use that ocean metaphor. And I think maybe the applicable lesson for listeners is in times where you do feel that quote unquote imposter syndrome or that you might not be the one for the job, I think just don't forget to lean on those that could give you that extra oomph, that extra 10%, 15% of knowledge and expertise to close the gap on the topic of research that you're talking on or exploring. And so I don't know if anyone else has experienced that before and if there's any other recommendations that listeners can give in that specific circumstance, but I would love for you to share them with me, and I will then also share them to the world via social media and the weekly newsletter. Please reach out with that if you have any. Admin at Briggs & Co. Leave Average for Joe is the social media. Always a gift, a privilege, and when I get to the chance to hit the record button and share my crazy thoughts with the world. Keep pushing your limits. Keep challenging the boundaries. Keep failing. Frick, keep failing. I love that. I think we should emphasize that more. When's the last time you failed at something? Oh, the lessons that come from failure. Squeeze your loved ones extra tight. Be a little bit more kinder in this wonderful world that we get the chance to live in. Take care. Ciao for now, everyone.